Hi, good morning, students. Now we are available in your and our college, that is Rupadevi PU Science College. If you need doubts, any inquiries, you come and contact in our college. Okay, and morning 9 to 5 we are available here only. Is it clear? In chemistry part, in last session we are discussing about osmotic pressure. We have to continue the remaining part in that only. Okay, now briefly how to see what words we are saying in previous class. Osmosis, osmotic pressure, isotonic solution, hypotonic solution, hypertonic solutions. So here among these carefully see, osmosis means the flow of solvent molecule from low concentration region to high concentration region through semi-permeable membrane. That is osmosis, flow of solvent molecule from fresh water to salt water, or high concentration solution to low concentration solution to high concentration solution through semi-permeable membrane. That is osmosis. Osmotic pressure, it means just to stop the osmosis, so much pressure is required, that is we call as osmotic pressure. Okay, this is denoted with pi. Osmotic pressure, clearly we discussed in last class. Osmotic pressure depends on number of solute particle present in the solution. It does not depends on nature of solute. That's why osmotic pressure also considered as colligative property. Colligative property means which properties of the solution depends on number of solute particle present in the solution, that is we call as we call as colligative property. So here osmotic pressure depends on number of solute particle present in the solution. That's why this is we consider as colligative property. Come to here, isotonic solution. Iso means here similar. Those two solutions having similar osmotic pressure or same osmotic pressure and the same temperature, that is we call as isotonic solution. Solution 1 osmotic pressure pi 1, solution 2 osmotic pressure pi 2, both are equal means that is isotonic solution. Generally normal saline, it contains 0.9% mass by volume NaCl. This solution we call as normal saline. This osmotic pressure is equal to or blood pressure. That's why this normal saline were injected into the blood. There is no increasing or decreasing of cell size with this normal saline. Hypotonic solution, hypo means less, which is solution having less osmotic pressure as compared with blood pressure, that is we call as hypotonic solution. Hypertonic, which is solution having high osmotic pressure as compared to the other solution or blood solution, that is what we call hypotonic solution. Here two more things we are going to discuss here. Plasmolysis. Plasmolysis. Yes, a plant cell we are going to place it in hypertonic solution. First we are taking here hypertonic solution. In hypertonic solution, one plant cell when you are kept inside, what will happen? Solution concentration is higher outside solution. Inside plant cell, concentration of fluid is less. So now here always osmosis takes place from solvent molecules moves from low concentration region to high concentration. That's why this cell loses fluids to the outside. Due to loss of these fluids, cell will be shrinkage, size of the cell decreases. Is it clear? It is also called as exoosmosis. What we call exoosmosis means cell loses fluids due to outside high concentrated solutions. Is it clear? Next we are going to the one more hemolysis. A hemolysis, it is on what we call endoosmosis. Endoosmosis, what we are going to do here, one plant cell when we are placed in hypotonic solution here, hypotonic solution means solution concentration is less as compared to the plant cell. Then what will happen here? Solvent molecule flows into the cell size slowly increase, swollen and burst the cell. This is we call as hemolysis. Hemolysis takes place when plant cell kept in hypotonic solution, that is we call endoosmosis, means endo is nothing but entering inside. Okay, here fluid enters inside the cell, it comes inside. Okay, inside it will come. Okay, that is endoosmosis. Plasmolysis, it is exoosmosis. When plant cell kept in a hypertonic solution, fluid loses from the cell to the solution. That is what we call plasmolysis. Next we are going to the reverse osmosis. Now come to the reverse osmosis. What is meant by reverse osmosis? Here, first to understand this one, once we look after the osmosis. Osmosis means flow of solvent molecule from low concentration region to high concentration region through semi-permeable membrane. Suppose here fresh water, salt water separated by semi-permeable membrane, we take it like that. Now when you apply normal pressure both sides, if pressure is equally present, what will happen? Solvent molecule, this is fresh water means salt not there, yet salt is there. This is high concentration, low concentration. Now solvent particle move from here fresh water to salt solution. This is the movement in osmosis. When you applied osmotic pressure to the solution side, this osmosis process will be stopped. If applied pressure here more than osmotic pressure when applied to the solution side, instead of osmosis process stopping, here reverse osmosis will take place. Reverse osmosis means due to applying more than osmotic pressure, applied pressure more than osmotic pressure, then solvent molecules moves from salt water or high concentration region to low concentration region. Is it clear? This through semi-permeable membrane, this process we call as reverse osmosis. Simple. In osmosis, solvent molecule flow from low concentration region to high concentration through SPM. In reverse osmosis, when applied more pressure than osmotic pressure to the solution side, solvent molecules moves from high concentration region to low concentration region. In this process, generally here salt water, fresh water you are taken, separated by SPM. When applied more pressure than osmotic pressure, what will happen? Solvent present in here salt water moves into the fresh water side. In this process, salt water convert into fresh water. This process we call as desalination. Desalination means removal of salts from the water. So removal of from the water. So when applied here, we should apply more pressure than osmotic pressure. To maintain that pressure, we are using one semi-permeable membrane. It is manufactured with cellulose acetate. Cellulose acetate semi-permeable membrane we can use between salt water and fresh water. In generally, in so many countries, in sea water they convert into fresh water for agriculture purpose by using this RO. Nowadays, even in our houses also we are using a reverse osmosis process, simply we called RO system or RO plant. Is it clear? In RO plant, salt water convert into fresh water. Okay. Up to now we discussed some colligative properties, that is what said relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation of boiling point, depression in freezing point, osmotic pressure. According to Raoult's law, here relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. Is it clear? Elevation of boiling point is equal to what's the product of ebullioscopic constant and molality. Small m indicate molality. Here delta TF is nothing but depression in freezing point equal to product of cryoscopic constant and molality. Pi is equal to CRT. C means concentration in molarity, or S. We can also use S. Here S means solution constant. This value equal to universal gas constant. Is it clear? So these all formulas applicable for very dilute solution containing non-volatile non-electrolyte, means electrolyte which is solute present in the solution. You should not be associate or dissociate. Molecule number should not be decrease, molecule number should not be increase. At that time only these colligative properties applicable. Suppose urea, when dissolved in water, its molecule number not increases, not decreases. Glucose, sucrose, there is no association, there is no dissociation. These are non-volatile, non-electrolyte solutes. Urea, glucose, sucrose. For this type of molecules, no association, no dissociation. So these formulas directly we can use. But NaCl, when dissolved in water, Na plus Cl minus. Before dissolving, particle number 1 only. After dissolved in water, number of particle 1 plus 1, 2. Number of particle changes, colligative property value also changes. Remember, colligative property directly proportional to the number of particles, and colligative property inversely proportional to molar mass of solute. Molar mass of solute increases, colligative property value will be decreases. Number of solute particles increases, colligative property value also increases. Is it clear? So remember these formulas when we are using, we can use for non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute which do not undergo association or dissociation when dissolved in water. Such a type of solute, for the solutes, these formulas are applicable. But NaCl, particle number changes. These are electrolyte. It is not non-electrolyte. For this, it is for this type of electrolytes, these formulas are not applicable. Reason, number of particles changes. Generally, what will happen by using these colligative properties? If you use these formulas, if you calculate molar mass of NaCl, but actual calculated molar mass of NaCl 58.5. By using this colligative property, if you calculated NaCl molecular mass, we are getting 29.25. This is we call as abnormal molecular mass. Generally, what is abnormality? Suppose in normal means for every hand contain 5 fingers. Suppose one more finger extra if it is there, that is what we consider abnormal condition or abnormal fingers. Is it clear? So what we expected, that molecular mass if not present means more than that value or less than that value if you are getting, that is what we call sir abnormal molecular mass. First we have to see why NaCl getting this value, we have to see sir. Now we are going to abnormal molecular mass. Look at here sir, abnormal molar mass. Before going to that, What is molar mass? Molar mass means the mass of 1 mole of molecules is known as molar mass. 1 mole is equal to Avogadro number. That value 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 particles. This number we indicate with Avogadro number. This number of particle we call as 1 mole of particle. 1 mole particle's mass we can call molar mass. Any substance, Avogadro number of molecules we call as 1 mole. Its mass is molar mass. Remember, molar mass means Avogadro number of particle, that is 1 mole. Is it clear? This is the common relation for every substance. Is it clear? When dissolved in water, what will happen? You have to see. Example 1, 2, 3 example you have to see here. First one, NaCl. 1 mole I am taken solid. 1 mole NaCl, its mass, molar mass is 1 mole mass is 58.5 gram per mole. This is the molar mass. So you see, this 1 mole I am taken here. This is dissolved in water. After dissolving, these ions, this solid dissociate into ions. Carefully see, before dissociating, 1 mole. 1 mole, NaCl gives how many sodium ions? 1 mole sodium ions will give. Here, 1 mole NaCl can give how many moles of chloride ions? 1 mole chloride ion. Remember, 1:1:1. 1 NaCl after dissociating 1 Na plus 1 Cl minus. In the same way, 1 N mole NaCl dissociating 1 mole Na plus 1 mole Cl minus. Carefully see, before dissolution, NaCl 1 mole particle in solid state 1 mole. After dissolving in solution state, how many mole particles are happened here? 2 mole particles are obtained. This mass, how much, sir? Its mass is 58.5 grams. Carefully see. Sir, after dissociating 2 moles obtained, what is the mass of that NaCl means? Suppose this is the one pen. This pen, suppose its weight is 50 grams. If I break into 2 pieces exactly, the mass of total 2 pieces also equal to 50 grams only. Reason, it is no loss, no gain. Just it is become 2 pieces. After breaking in 2 pieces, weight also equal to 50 grams. Is it in the same way? NaCl 1 mole we are taking, its mass is 58.5 grams. When dissolved in water, 1 mole of Na plus ion, 1 mole of Cl minus ion. Just a dissociation. So in total mass, what's are these 2 mole particles mass 58.5 gram. Carefully see, molar mass definition already we seen. 1 mole of particle mass is known as molar mass. But here 58.5 gram in solution, 58.5 grams mass indicate 2 mole particle. 2 mole particles we can't consider as molar mass. 1 mole particles mass only we call molar mass. Molar means 1 mole. So here 2 mole particles mass 58.5 grams. Now molar mass to calculate. Molar mass means 1 mole particles mass. What will happen? 2 moles 58.5, 1 mole mass, cross multiplication 58.5 by 2 into 1, that is 29.25 gram per mole. We are expecting 55.5 gram, but we are getting higher value. So this is what we call, sir, by using colligative property, directly if we calculate molar mass of NaCl, what we are getting? 29.25. This is a different value what we are expecting. Expected value 58.5. Molar mass of NaCl means 58.5 we are expecting, but we got 29.25. That's why this is different value we got as compared to expected value. That's why it is called as abnormal molecular mass. Why abnormal molecular mass or molar mass is obtained? Due to dissociation of NaCl. That's why in general, if solute after dissolving, if it is association or dissociation happen, its molecular mass different from what we are expected. Due to dissociation, molar mass will be decreases. Due to association, molar mass will be increases. Here dissociation case 1 we seen. One more dissociation case you have to see. Another example for dissociation, that is textbook example KCl. KCl molar mass 74.5 gram per mole. Here 1 mole KCl I am taken, dissolved in water. After dissociation, ions are obtained. These are the ions. How many moles I am taken here? 1 mole. 1 mole mass what we call? Molar mass. What is the molar mass? 74.5. After dissociation, KCl dissociate into K plus ion and Cl minus. How many mole particles are there? Total 2 mole particle. This 2 mole total particle mass also 74.5. Before dissolve in water, 1 mole only there. After dissolve in water, due to dissociation, it become 2 moles of particle. Particle number, ions or molecule, whatever we call as particles. Here 2 mole particles are there. 2 mole particle, 2 mole particles mass 74.5 gram. Now molar mass to calculate, what you have to do? Molar mass means 1 mole particle mass. 1 mole particle mass is nothing but 74.5 by 2 into 1, that equal to 37.25 gram per mole. Expected 74.5, but we got 37.25 grams. That's why this is we call as abnormal molecular mass. Simply remember, in abnormal molecular mass, in dissociation case it decreases, or in dissociation case abnormal molecular mass is less as compared to expected molecular mass. Now one example for association we'll see. Abnormal normal molar mass in association case is acetic acid CH3COOH. Its molar mass expected 60. CH3COOH 2 moles I am taken, otherwise you write like this: CH3COOH plus CH3COOH gives rise CH3COOH taken twice. Here 2 moles of molecules combined together form 1 mole. This is we call as dimerization. Here this is 1 mole. This is another 1 mole. Its mass is 60. This mass is 60. In before dissolve in water, what will happen, sir? Here no association between the molecule. Sorry, here actually this acetic acid not dissolved in water. It is dissolved in low dielectric constant solvent, that is benzene. In benzene association, dimerization, di, two, mer, molecule, dimerization, combining of two molecule form one molecule. Is it clear? Here 2 moles of acetic acid, after combining it form 1 mole. Carefully see. Here this is 60. After mixing it become 1 mole. This 1 mole is equal to what, sir? 160 plus 60 is nothing but 120 grams. Expected molar mass acetic acid 60, but after dissolving benzene, you're getting molecular mass of acetic acid is 120. So in association case, molecular mass, what will happen, sir? Increases. Abnormal molecular mass is higher. Is it clear? In acetic acid association case, diagram we forgot, you see acetic acid formula CH3 COOH. This is a structure. If you write like this, functional group, this is the one molecule of acetic acid, another molecule of acetic acid. Here in benzene solvent, in between acetic acid molecule, hydrogen bond, that is nothing but intermolecular hydrogen bond is formed. Due to this intermolecular hydrogen bond, two molecule combined, it can exist as a single molecule. Is it clear? So this is what we call dimerization. In dimerization case, abnormal molecular mass value increases. In dimerization case, more molecule, in dimerization case, n molecules become n by 2 molecule. Trimerization case, number of example idu nodu, CH3 COOH, 2 moles we are taken. Okay, it become what, sir? CH3 COO2. Is it clear? So here what will happen? Taken molecule, if n means, after dimerization remaining molecules are n by 2. Simple. 2 molecule you are taken. 2 combined become 1. 4 molecule if you take like that combined, 4 become 2. Is it clear? Same. N molecule if you take, after association, after a dimerization, obtained number of molecules n by 2. Association case, number of particles decreases, but abnormal molecular mass increase. In dissociation case, number of particles increases, but abnormal molar mass decreases. Previous NaCl and KCl we seen for that example. See, generally if the electrolyte when dissolved in water, if it is association or dissociation happen, based on that, if you going to calculate colligative properties, number of particles already changed, that's why colligative property value also changes. So here experimental value of colligative property is different from calculated colligative property value due to reason here solute due to association or dissociation. So for electrolytes, these formulas are not applicable. So to equalize experimental colligative property value to the calculated property value, here want of introduced one factor, that is we call as I factor. I is nothing, I simply what we call want of factor. What is the intention of want of factor? To equalize experimental value of colligative property to the calculated value of colligative property. This is the main intention. One example you have to see, sir. Here how we are introducing pi is equal to osmotic pressure, pi is equal to CRT. This is what, sir? Calculated. This is calculated. Pi is equal to ICRT. This is experimental osmotic pressure. This is also a symbol only will use. You write here symbol pi calculate pi experimental. This is the pi is nothing but one colligative property I am taken. Pi means osmotic pressure calculated CRT. C is nothing but concentration in molarity. Okay, now pi experimental ICRT. Suppose if you take the ratio pi experimental pi calculated is equal to ICRT by CRT. CRT cancel. I we are getting. Therefore, here I means what we are getting, sir? I is the ratio of experimental value of colligative property by calculated value of colligative property. Calculated value of colligative. Here what will osmotic. Experimental value of osmotic pressure by colligative value of osmotic pressure. So based on this, how to write this one? Experimental value of colligative property by calculated value of colligative property. Experimental value of colligative property by calculated value of colligative property. In the same way, second formula for this: normal molar mass of solute by abnormal molar mass of solute particle. How to define Van 't Hoff factor? Van 't Hoff factor is defined as it is the ratio of normal molar mass of solute particle, normal molar mass of solute to the abnormal molar mass of solute particle. Next one more formula. I is equal to number of particles after association or dissociation. Number of solute particle after association or dissociation by number of solute particles before association or dissociation. This is the different definitions for Van 't Hoff factor. Here Van 't Hoff factor denoted by I, experimental value of colligative property by calculated value of colligative property. Or second one, normal molar mass of solute by abnormal molar mass of solute. Carefully see. Next one, number of particles after association or dissociation by number of solute particle before dissociation or before association. These are the different method to calculate the Van 't Hoff factor. Carefully see. In dissociation case, in dissociation case, I value, in dissociation number of particles, carefully see, dissociation, we'll see after. Among them, one formula I am taken here for a Van 't Hoff factor. Number of solute particle after dissociation or association by number of solute particle after dissociation or before before dissociation or association. Here for this example, one example you have to see, or that dissociation. Suppose NaCl I am taken, it is completely dissociated, 100% dissociated like that. If you feel, what will happen? Na plus Cl minus. After dissociation, total particles how many, sir? After dissociation, number of particles, how many there? 1 plus 1, 2. Before dissociation, 1. So here dissociation case, I value should be its value 2 we are getting. In generally, I value in dissociation case, want of factor greater than 1. Want of factor value is greater than 1 in dissociation case. Example, if the BaCl2 100% if we dissociate like that, if you feel, what we are getting? Ba plus 2, 2Cl minus 1 plus 2, 3 particle after dissociation. Before dissociation 1, where I is equal to, what's a 3 by 1? 3 by 1, 3 particles are up there. I value 3 means generally in dissociation case, if 100% dissociation happen, like that we'll get whatever the dissociation happen, that value, I value must be greater than 1 dissociation case. Now one example you see in association case. Example, acetic acid you take CH3COOH, CH3COOH. Here CH3COOH taken twice. Now high value number of particle after association. Here association case, association, number of particle after association 1 1 1. After association 1 is there. Before association 1 plus 1 2, 0.5 we are getting. So in association case, want of factor value, I value should be less than 1. I value less than 1 means it is association case. I value, want of factor value greater than 1 means it is a dissociation case. Is it clear? So like that we are taking. Okay. Now we have to see the relation between want of factor and a degree of dissociation or association. The relation between degree of dissociation is nothing but alpha and want of factor I. How to see, sir? Degree of dissociation is equal to, it is the ratio of number of moles dissociated by total number of moles taken. Total number of moles taken. This is alpha. Carefully see. Here a number of molecules were taken. After one mole of n molecules, A suffix n is nothing but what, sir? S8, P4 like this. AN, A indicates envelope element. Okay, here N means that much number of atoms will be present. Like that you take. Okay, now 1 mole only. Initial what I am taken? 1 mole this is I am taken. Initially no dissociation. So here what is the value of this one means 0. Means here in this process, after dissolved in water, AN molecule dissociate into Na. The name is, suppose S8 is there. After dissociating, what we can write? 8 number of S atoms obtained. But this is S8 means 1 molecule contain 8 atoms. Here 8S means 8 separate atoms are there. Here particle or molecule means 1 only. Here how many particles are there? 8 particles there. In the same way, here 1 mole, N mole. Look at here. Initially these are the number of moles we taken. Now number of moles dissociated, number of moles and dissociated. Here alpha moles dissociated, out of 1 alpha degree of that much part is dissociated. How much obtained here? N alpha obtained. Now number of particles at equilibrium, total we have taken 1 mole, out of that some fraction is dissociated alpha. Okay now here then remaining what is there, sir? 1 minus alpha. Here what's n alpha? This is no change, that is only obtained. Initial 1 we taken, in that some fraction dissociated, remaining 1 minus alpha. These are the reactant particle, these are the product particles present at equilibrium. Okay, now total number of particles, total number of particles, how much is there, sir? 1 minus alpha plus n alpha. You take alpha common, alpha if we take the common, what we are getting, sir? Here see 1 plus n minus 1 alpha. This is the total number of particles present at equilibrium after dissociation. Now want of factor, what is the definition? Number of particles after dissociation by number of particle before dissociation. After dissociation total particle, these are. Before dissociation how many particles we taken? 1 mole. So these are the moles obtained after dissociation, these are the moles taken initially or before dissociation. Want of factor is equal to number of particle after dissociation 1 plus n minus 1 alpha by Watson 1 we are taking. This is the Watson want of factor for dissociation case. Now can you separate alpha from this formula? 1 you take into this side, what will happen? Plus here if you come to this side minus 1. Here alpha is equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. This is the degree of dissociation. Suppose alpha they given, you can calculate I value by using this formula. Suppose you want alpha value, degree of dissociation, I they given, you have to utilize this formula. Is it clear? This is the degree of dissociation and want of factor related.